guys, welcome to today's Big Brother 17 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Karen Patterson. Karen, I cannot thank you enough for sending books 2 and 3 of the selection series. Loving it. You are so sweet and I'm so not worthy. Seriously, so not worthy. I can't thank you enough. But anyway, let's get to Big Brother. Last night, Jace was evicted by a vote of 12-1 by Felicia. He and we finally found out for sure who the twins are this season. Liz and Julia. Called that. His reaction was pretty funny. After that, Becky and Shelly won the HOH competition, and we found out that the BB takeover is called The Last Laugh, and one house guest will have the power to keep 3 people from voting this week. So that's pretty interesting. It's an interesting twist. Alright, also interesting, this combination of heads of household. We haven't really seen much game yet from Becky, so it's going to be interesting to see what she does. And Shelly has been playing both sides of the house, so it's time for her to pick a side. I don't know if it was a good week for her to win. She's got to show her cards a little bit. So James, Jeff, and Day were chatting in the living room after the live show, and they were talking about how they desperately want Audrey gone this week. They suspect that either she or Austin was responsible for the Hinky vote. Ding, ding, ding. It was Audrey. So Day is getting a little bit worried that maybe Audrey's not going to go this week. She said Audrey must feel safe because she smiled and winked at her. So not only does she think that Audrey feels safe, but she's worried that she's going to be going up this week. She's got a feeling that she's going to be up on the block, but she's not sure which HOH is going to nominate her. So Jeff was chatting with Audrey in the cabana room. He wants to clear the air, so he's like, you know, I've heard from some people that you're coming after me, you're spreading all this crap about me. What's the deal? So she denies it, of course, and she's like, so why are you talking about me with everyone else and having like all these secret meetings? So he denies it, of course, and then they go back and forth for a little while, and eventually he's like, Audrey, I really want to work with you, but you're making it pretty much impossible right now. This is a chance for you to really rebuild your relationships, get things back together. So then Clay joins the conversation, and Audrey she's up to her old tricks. It's insane. So she's just like, someone voted against the house to frame me, and they're trying to set me up. And they're just like, oh no, like, no one wanted to do that. It was probably Austin. Like, don't worry about it. No one thinks that. And then Jeff was like, but why do you hate me? So Audrey was like, I was programmed. It was programmed in my head last week to hate you. What? She literally used the word programmed like at least twice. Okay, so the house guests find out that nominations are that night, so start panicking. But, you know, they should have expected this because production always moves things up for the holiday weekend. So they're going to get everything out of the way so then they can have their little barbecues or whatever this weekend while we're just watching the feeds with nothing going on, like, hey, that barbecue outside smells really good. Except it doesn't because I'm a vegetarian. Alright, so grilled veggies. Becky and Shelly are discussing potential nominees in the cabana room. They gotta get down to business here. Nominations are coming up. So Becky definitely wants Audrey to go this week, and it's personal. It's not just game. Because Audrey was like circulating this rumor around the house that Becky made some like racist comments or like said these racial slurs, which is totally not true. But she was spreading it around the house and everyone was just like, what? She never said those things. So I don't know at this point if Audrey thinks that she heard these things or if she was intentionally trying to mess up Becky in the house. But I mean, that has some serious consequences, you know? That's bad. So Becky's really upset about that, and then she's thinking maybe she'll also nominate Steve, just in case they can't get rid of Audrey this week, because she's been hearing that Steve has been passing information back and forth for Audrey and gathering info for her, so she's like, you know, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if Steve went home this week. So we'll come back to strategy stuff. So Becky and Shelly as HOHs got to pick the have-nots for the week. They each got to choose 2. But guess what? All 4 volunteered. So the have-nots this week, we have Steve, Jason, Meg, and James. All right, that have-not room's gonna be a real party. So Shelly and Clay then talk about nominations, and they decide that they want Day out this week. But they can't decide if they should nominate her straight away or backdoor her. So, you know, Day and Clay never really fixed their relationship after that stupid argument that happened before the feeds came back on. They've never really trusted each other. So Clay is just like, well, Shelly, you can nominate me, and then I'll throw the battle of the block, and then we can get rid of Day. And Shelly's just like, oh, I would never nominate you. Oh my god. So that's not gonna happen. It'd be kind of funny though if it was like Big Brother Canada. You nominate your closest ally, don't use the power veto on them, and then they go home. That would be hilarious, especially in this situation, but it's not going to happen. So then it was time for the HOH room reveal. For some reason we got fish on the feeds during this, but it sounded lovely. We still had audio. They got pictures, letters from home. I'm not sure if Becky's letter was from her friends or her sisters, but Shelly's was from her mom and dad. They got lots of snacks and stuff. Yay! And then after a few minutes of celebration, Becky kicks everyone out because she needs to talk game. Nominations are coming up. So everybody's trying to get their 2 cents in with the HOHs. Pretty much all of Becky's conversations are just like, I'm backdooring Audrey. I need 2 pawns. I said I'm backdooring Audrey and I need 2 pawns. Are you down? So she needs 1 pawn from the big alliance of like 8 or 9 people, and she wants 1 from outside of that group. Sure. All of Shelly's conversations are a little bit different because she can't say the same thing to every person because she's being a little tricksy here. She wants to hide some things from some people. She wants to nominate Day with someone who's going to throw the Battle of the Block competition so that she stays HOH and they stay on the block. So at the same time, she does not want Becky to know that her target is Day, and she does not want Becky to know she's telling her nominee to throw this competition because she was like to Becky, oh, I wouldn't want any of the nominees to throw the competition. That's just wrong. So Shelly, Clay, and Johnny Mac are chatting in the cabana room, and Shelly and Clay are telling him, Day and Audrey are the targets this week, but we're going to need some help here to pull off this plan. So they want John to go up on the block and throw the Battle of the Block competition, and of course they're like, if you throw it, we're going to have your back, and if we win the power veto, we'll use it on you. We just need you to throw this B.O.B. so that Shelly stays in power. And they're saying if Day gets the power veto, Audrey's going to go up, so Johnny's in no danger. So Johnny Mac agrees to the plan. What? Alright, so they had nominations last night. Shelly nominated John and Day, and Becky nominated Steve and Jason. So it's pretty much, you know, no surprise there. So then the feeds come back after nominations. Jason and Day are not happy. Jason knew that he was going up on the block, but he didn't know that he was going to be up against Day. So he feels like the 2 of them, they're kind of like the second plan, you know, plan B. If Audrey doesn't go, it's going to be them. That's why they put them up against each other. And they think that everyone knew about this, so they're not happy about it. And they don't trust Shelly to backdoor Audrey if she stays in power this week. You guys are just like dead on with it. So Day has a convo with John. First they're just like talking about how they're going to work together for the Battle of the Block competition. And then Day is asking him if he knew that she was going up on the block, and he lies about it. He says, no, I didn't know, but they were asking me about you. They were asking me what we talk about together, and Day's just like, psh, we just freaking talk about whatever, who cares? So, yeah. And then she's like, the more that I think about it, the more I'm seeing that I'm the target this week, not Audrey. Ugh. I gotta say, Day is like very perceptive. She seems to always be with it. So most people were just chilling. It was very late at night, telling stories. We hear this one story about how James drank urine one time by accident, and he was like, yeah, it wasn't even like that disgusting, but it was just like really, it was like water with like a really tart taste. Oh my god, that was so gross. But yeah. Just had to share that with you. So they're all just hanging out, and then Audrey comes out of the diary room just before 5 in the morning with a megaphone and a clipboard, and she's like, "Red alert! It's time for the Battle of the Block competition. Get changed and report to the Ginger Fever." And then it cuts off. I really wanted to hear the rest of that. Now that I think about it, 5 a.m., whatever happened to Jace's meeting at 5 a.m.? He never had it. That was a huge letdown. But anyway, the feeds came back after the competition at 6:09 a.m. and we find out that Steve and Jason won, which means that Becky was dethroned and freaking Shelly's plan is still in play. So the house guests slept for a few hours after that, and then it was time to get up, Teletubbies. So Shelly and Clay were being all flirty. Blah. I really did not want Shelly to win HOH, not only because I didn't want her plan to happen, but also because I can't deal with a week of Shelly and Clay being all and bland in the HOH room. So things were a little bit like tense this morning between the two of them. Shelly was like, "Clay, you need to keep your mouth shut about this plan. Stop telling people what's going on. You're gonna ruin it for me." So then she was telling him, "And don't be promising that Johnny Mac that we're gonna use the veto on him if we win." What? And Clay's just like, "But that's what we said to him yesterday." And she's just like, "No, I never said that." "Yes, you did, you jerk." So Day has a little chat with Shelly. She asks her why she was nominated, and Shelly's just like, "Well, I wasn't really sure where we stood before, and it's nothing personal, of course. She just hasn't felt that trust since the very beginning of the game." So Day's just like, "Well, I guess I can't really argue with that." So then they had the Power Veto competition today. The host was Jackie. The players, we have Shelly, Day, John, Clay, Meg, and Steve. I don't really know that many details about the competition yet. Hopefully I'll have that for you guys tomorrow. But I do know that the winner was Johnny Mac. I give it a... So now, it's kind of a big deal. What's Shelly gonna do? Johnny Mac is obviously gonna use the veto on himself. So Shelly's gotta put somebody up next to Day. Is she gonna put up Audrey? Probably not. I think she's going to put up a pawn to still try and get rid of Day, but it's going to be interesting because I don't think people are going to be happy about that. Some people anyway. Some people are really not going to be happy about that. So let me know what you guys think is going to happen. The Power Veto ceremony should be on Monday, so a couple days there for people to sink their own ships. I don't know. You saw what happened last week. So let me know, and until tomorrow, much love.
Edit.